and welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Sunday supplement from Everton 2, Liverpool 2 at Goodison Park. This was obviously a game we were coming into top of the league, off the back of form. They were obviously coming into this off a 7-2 defeat against Aston Villa. We've had the international break in between. But yeah, I was going into this game confident, quietly confident. I never actually go into these games with any sort of real confidence that we're going to win. Although yesterday I did feel as though that could be the day that we end it. Unfortunately, obviously, it wasn't to be, but we'll get into it with the lineup. It was expected. We had the likes of Alan, Richarlison, Seamus Coleman all back, and then we had players that were away on international duty all came back fit as well. You had James, you had Yerry Mina, you had Pickford came back. I know people will laugh probably at that, but you had all these players coming back and they came back fit, which was good to see. So I think in that respect, it was good to have our players back, but I was expecting us to come in off the international break, expecting us to start quite sharp. We were slow, so slow, and the first couple of minutes, Van Dijk smashes into James, and it looked to injure him, and he looked like he slowed down, after that challenge. Then obviously they start knocking it around, they start getting the rub of the green this is in the first 3 minutes. The ball gets out from Mane out to Robertson. I think Seamus Coleman almost gets too close to Robertson. He gets a lucky ricochet, gets past him, and then he whips the ball across and Mane's there and he fires home in at the near post. It was an absolutely unbelievable goal in terms of the way he struck it, and Pickford was never saving that, no matter how much you're his biggest critic. There was no way he was ever going to save that, let's be honest. And at that point we're thinking, okay, how are we going to react from this, because we had started slow. We didn't want to start going in and start conceding straight away and getting another, being 3-0 down before half time, because it's happened to us before in these games where we concede one and we absolutely capitulate. It wasn't the case this time around, but, after they get the goal, we then were under pressure again, and a ball comes into the box. I think it's from Henderson there. He gets a header, but Luca Dean defends it really, really well. Goes out for a corner, comes out then to the edge of the box. Fabinho puts the ball in, tries to find Van Dijk. He's offside, but that didn't stop Jordan Pickford from going absolutely through him. I mean, that was an absolutely horrendous challenge, and you'd never like to see that happen on any of your players. And to see it happen to an opposition player, I know he's a Liverpool player and everything like that, but still, for the length of time that he's going to be out now, for an absolutely needless challenge. He's a goalkeeper, should be coming out with his hands, and I think you're looking at him just going like, why are you making these stupid decisions all the time? Because he's very, very lucky. I mean, Van Dijk's arm or hand is offside, maybe it's his shoulder, but this stupid rash decisions that he just doesn't need to make, and he comes out and he's very, very lucky to be on the pitch. And if that was against us, I'd be absolutely fuming. So I can understand how they're feeling, although they're the biggest moaners in the world. I can understand how they're feeling in that regard with the Van Dijk challenge. But then nothing came of it in the end, and then we had little to shout about in the first half, and then James starts to kind of come alive around the 20th minute, and he gets a hold of the ball, gives it up to Dom. He carries it into the box. No one getting into the box with him, so he has to go alone. He takes a shot. Adrian saves it at his near post. He's such a dodgy keeper, that Adrian. Then James whips in a corner, and Michael Keane heads home. I think Andre Gomez plays a big part in that goal, because he has Adrian so distracted in him, and then he kind of pulls away, and Michael Keane's header is so strong that it was literally straight at him, but he just couldn't keep it out. And yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like you're thinking, okay, let's keep the score, let's relax, let's try and get back into it slowly, but let's not let them creep into it. Then they start getting chances. Mane puts his head down in for a challenge, and Andre Gomez has a high foot. For me, it didn't look like high foot. Maybe I'm being biased in that regard, but Andre Gomez is a tall lad and he just lifts his leg up. It didn't look like he extended it that very far. The Mane goes down holding his face. Alexander Arnold then has a free kick, and Pickford actually makes a really good save. I didn't think he would save it, but he made a really good save at that point. And then they had nearly a carbon copy of their first goal. I think Seamus Coleman had just gone off, and then Godfrey came on, who I thought did quite well. They had a carbon copy, Robertson out to left, and then Mane He kind of lets it run across his body and fires it wide. And you're kind of going in then at a half time going, okay, we're lucky to be 1-1 here because we haven't played well at all. And I think that was a tale of the game, really. We hadn't played well at all for the whole game, in my opinion. We had maybe spells where we looked okay and stuff like that, but you know, it's it's one of these things in this game where our mentality, like, okay, maybe Carlos set us up to be defensively, and I wasn't expecting us to go out and play like we did against Brighton or West Brom or anything like that, but I was expecting us to maybe have a bit more of a go. I mean, we did keep them quiet in the second half, and James was supplying some lovely balls out left for Luca Dean, and he whips in a ball for Dom, and you're thinking, here we go, this is the moment where he does it, he scores in the derby, and he becomes a hero, and he miskicks it somehow. I don't know how he does it, but it was a great ball by James, absolute worldly of a pass, then a great ball in by Dean, and yeah, he just mishits it, and unfortunately, you know, that was a chance where if we go 2-1 up there, we might be talking about an Everton win, but it wasn't to be the case. And then uh, they go up the other end, and Salah, out of nothing, gets an absolute worldie of a goal. And you have to say, what a goal it was. You know, I don't like really giving them too much credit, but it was a great finish. It was an absolutely unbelievable finish. And I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. But I actually, for a first time in a derby in a long time, I actually had a bit of confidence in us that when we go goals down, that we don't shy away from trying to get back into the lead like we did under Silva, maybe Koeman as well. But we actually tried to get back into the game. And I think we showed that kind of spirit. I know, look, they had a corner and Matip forces a great save again from Pickford. And without Pickford, we would have lost that game yesterday, although he could have easily been sent off. And I'm not making excuses for him, and I'm not lauding him at all because I think he's awful. And I think we should definitely have another keeper. But he did make two really important saves, and that then, you know, we had a shot from James from range, and he forces a good save from Adrian. And then James, of course, plays a part in the goal, gives the ball up to Luca Dean, and he hangs a beautiful cross to Dom. He hangs in the air like Cristiano Ronaldo or something freakish like that. It's something you just love to see. And 2-2, you're thinking, okay, you know, this is a good result, but we want to try and get the win because I wasn't happy with a draw. I want us to go and try and get the win and really stamp a marker because the way we started the season, I think people have been writing us off and saying we're punching above our weight and something like that. So I'm thinking, let's try and show what we're made of here, try beat the champions. Especially, you're not really going to have a better chance to beat them than without Alisson and Van Dijk, I think. But then Richarlison fires into a stupid challenge into the middle of the park. Another, like he's another one like Pickford who just makes these idiot decisions at the most stupid times. At that point, okay, yeah, look, it was going to go either way at that point, but they weren't really grasping a real foothold of the game. I felt as though we were. I felt as though we were kind of mixing that at that point in time. Fires into a challenge, gets nowhere near it. And again, that's another one, another career-ending challenge type that he fires in on Thiago, and he was able to carry on or whatever. Richarlison gets sent off. He's rolling around on the ground in agony for about 2 minutes, and then eventually the ref gives the red card to him, and rightly so. He deserves to be sent off. But now we're out him for 3 games, which is absolutely stupid because he's one of our best players, if not the best. Probably behind James, he's probably our next best, but he's so important to the way we play, and now we're without him for 3 really important games coming up, and it was just stupid. Like, I still thinking back how stupid it was. And then, of course, late drama in the derby, and Thiago to Mane to Henderson, he scores. Pickford, what are you doing for the goal? You just knew as an Everton fan that that moment was coming. Now, we very, very rarely get any sort of luck, and somehow, some way, that was given offside, which was an absolutely horrendous decision. And if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be fuming. But we got the rub of the green somehow again. I would be absolutely fuming if that was one of our players given offside for. So I can see where they're coming from, being absolutely raging about it. But we absolutely got away with one there, and Pickford could have cost us twice with his first challenge, which should have been a red card anyway. And he was just blessed that he was offside. He absolutely halved Van Dijk, which was just stupid, really. no need for it. And then obviously then obviously the last chance. How is he not saving that? It's like, okay, look, I haven't played in goal, but he hit it low and hard. Pickford gets two hands and pushes it away instead of using the palm of his hand. Anything can happen when you use the palm of your hand, and it flips back up over his head and goes in. And you just knew, you could tell by Carlos' face, you just like, how in God's name has this just happened to us after, getting back into the game? And I know he came out afterwards and said, the performance was good and somehow I really didn't think we got going at all yesterday, but I think it's a good sign that even though we didn't get going, we still rescued a point. Now, we were absolutely the jammiest team in the world yesterday, but I mean, how many times have we played these and never got decisions go our way? So you would look at it that way. Is it evening itself out? I think we've got another 20 years of things evening itself out before we get anywhere near that. But look, it's a draw. It means we stay top of the league for another week. Not that we're getting carried away, but yeah, I think we need to up our performance again. It's going to be hard now without Richarlison, but it's time for someone like Iwobi or Bernard or even Gordon to come in and show their worth, or maybe Nkunku comes in, who has looked really good in the cup. Maybe he comes in and Lucas Dean gets pushed on, which I prefer having Lucas Dean, there left back. But it might not be any harm to having Nkunku kind of in and around if needs be, or even play him as a left winger because he's quality going forward, as we've seen. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks now. But that was a crazy game, and yeah, if you want more videos from me, check me out on Irish Football Fan TV. As you can probably see the logos behind me there. If you want to follow me, my social media, you can there. So my Instagram at PaulNealon90 and my Twitter at PaulNealon2508. Huge thanks for checking this video out. Don't forget to subscribe to Toffee TV. Don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to check out their Patreon content. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. All the best, guys. Come on, you Blues.